And just like we started the stream with a rocket launch, we're going to end it with a rocket launch. Here, in the meantime, we can look at the pictures from space. Oh. Those boosters, those Falcon Heavy side boosters have flown 4 times previous. Or they've flown 4 times now. 3 times previous. Did she just launch? Falcon Heavy launched this morning with the Psyche mission, drummer. We started the stream with a Falcon Heavy mission and we're going to end it with a Starlink mission. Also, Mr. Max Q dropped by to say hi to Tori Bruno. That... His pants are rocket nozzles. Wait. I hate my brain. So technically, are those bell-bottom pants because you called the bottom, the rocket nozzle is the bell, so they're bell-bottom. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. You ruined it. Oh, that's where we draw the we're drawing the line, Digital. That's where we drew the line. You're cool with this, but when I call the rocket nozzle pants bell bottom pants, that's ruined. That's where okay. All right. That's where we draw the line. Okay. Is that his name, Bellum? Rob? I know it was the wrong chat, but yeah. So you know what, Bellum? I'm calling Mr. Max Q Rob. His name's Robert Max Q. His name was Robert Max Q. His name was Robert Max Q. His name was Robert Max Q. Everyone has their limits. So if the mascot farts, if the guy inside the suit farts, what is that? Is that outgassing? Has gas venting? Has gas vent. Okay. Starlink, please. Free Delta V, you don't use farts for propulsion. The energy is applied somewhere else in the form of mechanical work. Damn it, reindeer! Methalox engines? But methane is odorless. I'll improve upon your methods. Oh wait, I'm in the For You section. Let's not go over there. 'Tis a silly place. That's the track coming off the NSF cast. Oh, nice. Petit Le Mans. I figured SpaceX would pop up in my feed sooner rather than later, but hello? Prop load has begun for tonight's launch of 22 Starlink satellites from Florida. All systems and weather are currently go for launch. Go for hamsters. Here. In the meantime, we'll just watch this. This is from this morning. Reindeer, do I want to know what you Googled to get that explanation? Watch the center. Watch the center core. Throttle down. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Oh, that makes me feel feelings that I like to feel. NSF stream. Where's the X stream? I don't see it. X. Oh. Ooh. X videos? No. X streaming. Differences. Admin. Differences. You schmuck. Ah, there we go. 31 seconds ago. Yeet! Alright, here we go. Starlink 622. Oh, God. Okay. Well, we put that one out there, admin, and we're not getting it back. That's great. Alright. Dude. Okay. Rockets are cool, but cranes are also cool. Liebherr 11,000. With twin masts. Well, twin booms, actually. The masts are up there. See these two things up there? Those are jibs. They're called jib masts. Yes. Sailboat terminology.
Stage 1 lock load complete.
Stage 1. Liquid oxygen load is complete, so we should be finishing up second stage topping here in the next minute or so. The tower, dude, look at the crew access tower. So SpaceX is building another pad that can launch people. See the access tower behind my head? Yeah, Alex. No exceptions or something. Dude, that crane is sweet. The reason why the crane is there is because it's building that's called a fixed service structure. Why? Because it's a structure that services the rocket and it's bolted to the ground, so it's fixed in one spot. I know. Very clever name. Jolly Green Giants, the shitty Beatles. Are they any good? Oh, they suck. So it's not just a clever name. Anyway, so the reason why is because SpaceX wants to be able to launch crew and cargo Dragon missions from Pad 40 here. Really freaking cool. And also have that capability at 39A, but for how long? Who knows?
Stage 2 lock load complete.
Check DMs for something related to this. I have no new messages. All right, stage 2 LOX load is complete. As we get into the final 90 seconds here, we should see ground gas closeout. There it is. To fill up the second stage with fuel, you need to get a fuel line up there. So the fuel lines go up this transporter erector structure. That's the structure on the right. The fuel lines go all the way up here, and they go into the bottom of the second stage through an umbilical. But you don't want fuel inside of your launch pad when you go to launch a rocket. You want fuel inside of your rocket, not the launch pad. So what they're doing there is they're pumping helium up the fuel and oxidizer lines, or pumping nitrogen. They're just purging it out. It's probably nitrogen because it's a ground system. They're pumping it out, and all the RP1 just gets drained out because of gravity, because it's just kerosene. But since the liquid oxygen is cryogenic, they pump nitrogen up the line, and that liquid oxygen, when it hits the atmosphere, it immediately turns to gas. So they're basically pumping the fuel, well, purging the fuel out of the line. And that's what that ground gas closeout is. I've seen it, Forge. See what's behind it? Okay, so T-8, you'll see the sound suppression system, the water system to prevent acoustic vibrations from reverbing off the ground here. It should be activating. There it is.
6, 5, 4,
Send it.
3, 2, 1.
Ignition.
Engines full power and liftoff of Starlink. Go Starlink, go Falcon.
All right, Starlink 622 is in the air. Another batch of Starlinks going up into space. 2 launches from the Cape today. A Falcon Heavy and a Falcon 9. Furthering SpaceX's crazy launch cadence that they're doing this year.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
Okay, roll program, pitch down range. We should hear a call for power and telemetry in the next 15 seconds. No, pad's down the street, Shaw. It's both from the Cape. What was on Falcon Heavy? NASA's Psyche mission. It's a mission to send an asteroid prospecting satellite out to the Psyche asteroid, which is a metallic asteroid, and NASA thinks that it might be a planet protocore. Protocores, what that means in plain English is that it could be if we had just let it do its thing, it might eventually turn into a planet, because metallic asteroids have a lot more gravitational pull because of the denser materials of the asteroid.
Max Q.
And eventually it'll pull enough in, it'll become a planet. Maybe, eventually. Yeah, it's a planetary seed. That's a good way to say it. Psycho mission? They launched your ex-wife? I mean, yeah, maybe. Okay, 90 seconds into the flight. Altitude's 21 kilometers. Speed is 2,800 kilometers an hour. Falcon 9 is moving into the upper atmosphere. The plume is expanding off the bottom of the first stage. The next step here in the flight, we're past maximum dynamic pressure. The next step here is main engine cutoff, which should occur around 2 minutes 30 seconds, and stage separation right after that. No problem, Red. Gases coming out of the vehicle end up being a more conic shape. As the vehicle gets higher and higher out of the atmosphere, ambient pressure slows down, or it goes down. There's less pressure up there, so there's more space, literally, for the gas. Well, actually, for the gases to expand. Okay, coming up here, 2 minutes 30 on the clock.
Stage separation.
There's the call for MECO and stage separation. We've got a good separation in the upper stage, and a good upper stage ignition. Upper stage flames now bouncing off the top of the first stage as the second stage powers its way up into orbit. First stage grid fins are deploying, and the nitrogen attitude control thrusters on the first stage are gassing out to aim the first stage business end first, so rocket engines first, going back down for its landing burn and
fairing separation confirmed.
Entry burn and landing burn. There was the call for fairing separation, 3 minutes 13. Fairing separation was confirmed. Fairing's now flying away and interacting with the plume from the second stage, which is now a very wide cone because it's all the way up in the vacuum. Fairing's flipping over end over end after flying through the second stage exhaust. This is also a potential jellyfish moment. Yep. Just so you know, the stream preview is someone taking a picture with that rocket costume. It's Tori Bruno, and I'm happy it is, RB. Something like that, Nova, yeah. All right. Should hear a call for nominal trajectory call-outs here. So 4 minutes into the flight. Second stage, 130 kilometers in altitude, approaching 10,000 kilometers an hour. First stage, currently 116 kilometers up, 117 still climbing. It's still following a ballistic arc right now. Current relative speed on the first stage is 7,000 kilometers an hour. But
both vehicles are on nominal trajectory.
There's the call for the nominal trajectories on both vehicles. But from the view that we're seeing off of the first stage here, it looks like it's just floating up there. But sadly, 7,000 kilometers an hour is not fast enough to stay out of Earth's grav well. It's pulling it back down. First stage has gone past apogee here. Altitude on it is at 112 and going down. Speed should start increasing here as altitude decreases. Meanwhile, the second stage here at 5 minutes into the flight is 152 kilometers in altitude, traveling at 11,500 kilometers an hour. I almost said miles an hour. Lovely. And first stage will start its entry, descent, and landing now. Falcon 9 is going to enter the the entry burn phase, my favorite part, because we get to see, for the third time today, some supersonic retro propulsion. I don't know if you noticed, that first stage is going kind of fast. 7,400 kilometers an hour is pretty quick. That is enough to basically need a heat shield to come back down. But Falcon 9 doesn't have a heat shield now, does it? But if you turn the rocket engines towards the plasma that's accumulating on your vehicle, the reentry heating that's accumulating on your vehicle, and fire the rocket engines, the pressure from the rocket engines will actually push the reentry heating away. And believe it or not, rocket exhaust, despite being really freaking hot, is not as hot as the reentry heating. And that actually gives Falcon 9 a cool column of gas around it.
FTS has safed.
And the rocket exhaust becomes the heat shield.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Supersonic retropropulsion. There it is. There's the call for the startup. One engine ignite, switching to 3. You see the first stage telemetry slowing down. First stage 53 kilometers in altitude. 63, going down 6,300 kilometers an hour and decelerating. Meanwhile, the second stage is up at 162 kilometers, traveling at 16,000 kilometers an hour.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
Entry burn has shut down. Stage 2, we're looking for 27,000 kilometers an hour. It's about 2/3 of the way there, give or take. First stage coming back down. Nitrogen thrusters are basically pushing the first stage, or steering the first stage into position, because the first stage, despite being a lot lower than it was a second ago, it was at 116 kilometers, now it's at 20. Despite that, there's still not a lot of air up there. Actually, right around now is when you're really going to start getting into the thicker parts of Earth's atmosphere as it comes back down. And that's when it's going to rely more on those grid fins, he said moron. It's going to rely more on the grid fins and less on the attitude control systems. But the attitude control systems, those nitrogen thrusters, are still going to be working through the landing here. Stage 1 is 8
Stage
point...
1 transonic.
Okay, there's the call for transonic, meaning the first stage is going slower than the speed of sound. 7,500 meters off the deck, 1,200 kilometers an hour and decelerating. Second stage, 157 kilometers in altitude, 21,000 kilometers an hour or speed. First stage is below 5 kilometers here, 1,000 kilometers an hour. You can see the lights from the drone ship underneath the left grid fin from the stage camera. 8 minutes into the flight. Everything's looking good here. We should hear the call for the landing burn right now.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There it is. Kind of a choppy signal out there. Signal on the first stage is froze, but the second stage we have a very, very beautiful shot of the plume. First stage drone ship camera is up. Sky is bright.
Deploy.
Landing legs deployed. First stage, right on the bullseye. First stage is back down. Not
Stage 1
bad.
landing confirmed.
Not bad at all. I don't hate it. Second stage is in terminal guidance, meaning that it's using its own onboard acceleration to calculate its position. We have second stage engine cutoff. Stand by for the call for nominal orbit insertion. Second stage altitude 152 kilometers, traveling at 27,054 kilometers an hour, and that's the end of the cast. They don't even stream till nominal orbit insertion, man. SpaceX is just, okay, here, okay, bye. You know? That booster for delivering the Starlink 622 mission was booster 1067, booster serial number 1067, completing its 14th flight after a 58-day turnaround. It is the 246th Falcon recovery attempt. It's SpaceX's 277th mission and their 73rd launch of 2023. This is Falcon 9's 264th mission and the 69th mission for Falcon 9 of 2023. That's pretty good, man. How soon do you think it'll be until all becomes so normal that they don't even bother to stream? Couldn't tell you. If they hit 100 by the end of the year, Alex, I will blow a gasket. That's absurd. When I got into spaceflight, when I was first really getting into it, like about 15 years ago, give or take, I don't know. It's a long time ago. You'd be lucky if a rocket's entire career got to 100 launches. We're talking 100 launches over the course of like 15 years. You'd be lucky if a rocket got that many launches. Titan, Atlas, stuff like that. You know, even the shuttle. The shuttle only got to 135 over 30 years. Falcon 9 is at 73 in 1 year. I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad. It's pretty crazy, man. Pretty freaking nuts. Anyway, guys. Well, we started with a launch. We ended with a launch. I'd say overall, pretty dang good day. We got to talk a lot about space. Got to work on a project in KSP. Pretty dang good Friday, if you ask me. The shuttle has the record for the most flights. No, Soyuz has launched easily over 1,000 times, T-Man. But that's over the course of 60 years. So, take that for what it's worth. Oh, that's cool, Illness. Very nice. Do they ever disclose the remaining percentage of nitrogen on the Falcon? Just wondering how much it varies. Nitrogen on the thrusters? No. Nah, Nick. I mean... Nah. I haven't, No. Dude... yeah, we've heard nothing like that. Even the fuel remaining, we still don't know. Friday the 13th seems pretty lucky. Yikes. Nah, Nick, I've never heard anything regarding that. Yeah. But, dude, we don't even know if SpaceX is using nitrogen anymore. Like, I assume that they are because they haven't said they're using anything else, so who knows. With cold gas thrusters like that, you can get better impulse if you use different gases. Nitrogen seems to be the easiest one to handle, though, and I think SpaceX would use that. But who knows? With all the crazy trajectory optimizations, I wouldn't be surprised if they're mixing the thrusters gases. They're mixing it with like helium, nitrogen, something that has lower atomic mass to get better impulse, so they can carry less. Seriously, carry less mass. Think about it. Even with a can of compressed air, all the gas in there is still mass. That's still delta V. That's still a delta V hit for the vehicle, right? So I don't even know if they're using nitrogen anymore. They probably are, but they might not be. They might be using helium. Who knows? They're probably using an inert gas, whatever it is. You know. Could be, but yeah, I've never heard anything regarding that. No, as far as I can tell, it's still nitrogen, but I don't know. Hey, Alex, I'm logging in a little late here. How's everything? Oh, great, dude. Great. Everything is good. Actually, you're just catching me at the end, dude. I've been going for a long time. I've been going since this morning, so I think I'm going to. You know, we did a nice, pretty awesome stream throughout the entire day. I think Starlink is a good way to cap off this week. So, next week, dudes, I'm going to be here. We'll be here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Monday. Hopefully we don't have a case of the Mondays. And I will be here we're going to work on the SERV project. We're going to do that. I really want to grind it out and get that stuff done. I want to make that thing work. So, we will we'll work on that next week. Gotcha. Might catch up the VOD. It's been a while. Yeah, Alex, I hope everything is good. Yeah, we're closing in right on 10 hours. Yeah. It's actually not any longer than a regular stream, all systems, but I had a nasty case of insomnia last night. I'm running off probably like 2 to 3 hours of sleep. So, my body has a really nice way of telling me that you're not getting enough sleep because I have a disgustingly bad headache and I feel like I'm going to throw up. Yeah. Don't get old. Anyway, I'll leave you with that great bit of advice. And I'll see you guys all on Monday. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Thank you very much for watching. There'll be more rocket launches next week. More Kerbal stuff, more space news. We're getting back into the groove, man. We're getting back into the groove. All right. Dude, I'm older than you. That sucks to be you. You didn't take my advice then. What the hell's the matter with you? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, okay?